Welcome to PM News.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, Carol, in your experience, how rife is sibling rivalry?
Sibling rivalry is something that happens in most families. It's something that is incredibly rife. It's something that most children go through and most families go through.
Mm-hmm. And what are those things that siblings commonly fight about?
I think what happens is that the children try to establish their position in the family. Mm-hmm. So the older child will want to show that they are the older child, they are the better, and that they can actually call the shots. Mm-hmm. So they will do what they can to make the younger children, one child or two children, feel that they are the underlings.
Now, with that being said, Carol, is it specifically gender and age-based?
Very often, it's not so much gender-based, although sometimes it can be. Mm-hmm. Very often it is age-based. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it's competence-based as well, where one child is more competent in something than another child. Mm-hmm. And then they will try and show off and gain their position in the family through their competence.
Mm-hmm. Carol, could it ever be a psychological problem?
It depends on how it's handled. If it is not handled well and it goes out of control, then it can become a psychological problem. And especially for the underdog in the family, it could become a psychological problem, yes.
Let's talk about now, is it healthy for siblings to compare themselves to each other? And what is a level of healthy competition?
A little bit of healthy competition, you know, I can run faster than you, and things like that is healthy. It gets out of hand when children start fighting about things, involving the parents in the fighting, because it could lead to marital problems. And calling each other's names. And having fist fights and becoming physically aggressive with each other. And it's important for parents to set the boundaries.
That was my next question, Carol. Where can parents assist, and what are the signs to look for if ever that competition is getting far out of hand?
When those sort of things happen, the fighting where name calling, swearing at each other, actual aggression, that is where parents do have to come in. But parents have to be careful that they don't get drawn into the fight.
And take sides as well.
And take sides. So they have to set boundaries. It's very important that, yes, children can compete, but they compete in a healthy way. And the parents allow that to happen, but with those boundaries. And that the parents don't get involved in the comparisons. I think if the parents start getting involved in the comparisons, then you can have tremendous problems.
It's going to be serious problems there. Now, how can and does conflict with one's brother or sister strengthen one's personality?
I think depending on how it's handled within the family, it could. And I think that their parents can play a role. One child will always be better at something than another child.
True.
And it's important to affirm those competencies. So if I'm good at running and my brother or sister is good at soccer, then affirm that and let the child achieve and feel that sense of achievement. I think that's extremely good. And that's where parents play a very positive role.
Basically to support each of their child's talents amicably.
And that is where you also set the groundwork for children as adults, being able to use their competencies and their skills in a very positive way.
Thank you so much, Carol, for talking to us today. That was Carol Bews, Assistant Director at Johannesburg Child Welfare.